Hey soldiers, looks like Meta is going to be undergoing some more massive layoffs. Let me apologize in advance, guys. The wind here, we've got a storm going on and you might be able to hear it, I'm not sure. But if you can, hey, look, bear with me. This won't take long. Meta Platform said it would cut roughly 10,000 jobs over the coming months. The Facebook parent's second wave of mass layoffs is what it says is an effort to be more efficient in a difficult economy. So look, we all know that Facebook, they had something happen to them a little while ago. Google and Apple kind of, I'll say it, conspired to shut down a lot of Facebook's ad business with the way that Facebook collected information. Google via the Android platform and Apple, of course, via their iPhone platform, kind of made it more challenging for Facebook to collect certain demographic information that they were using to help highly target ads. All right. Now, in the interest of full disclosure, for our businesses, I've tried Facebook ads in the past and it never worked. Okay. So I don't know. Maybe it's just not conducive to the types of industries we're in. I don't know, but I can tell you it didn't work for me. It didn't work for our companies, so whatever. Meta Chief Executive Mark Zuckerberg said in an email to staff on Tuesday that the company would, in the coming months, conduct multiple rounds of job cuts, as well as cancel some projects and reduce hiring rates as part of what he has dubbed the, quote, year of efficiency, unquote. I'm going to tell you one of the things Facebook could do to improve its fortunes, and that's start to treat the content, the people who actually provide content on the platform, treat them a whole lot better. Mark Zuckerberg came out, said he's thinking about instituting some sort of Twitter-like platform and, charging for part of the service and whatnot. Look, I'm on Facebook right now, and there's no way in hell I'd ever pay for any aspect of just being a part of the service. Also, I wouldn't, I haven't followed them to Instagram or anything else. The only reason I stay on Facebook is because I have relationships there with folk that I know, but they're in other parts of the country, okay, or the world. But as soon as I get purposeful and figure out a way to just have that network via my text messaging on my phone, then I'll deep six Facebook. I do not like the draconian approach to free speech that platform has, okay? So I'm a short timer on the platform. I'm looking to get out. And hopefully Zuckerberg is watching this video. I know he's subscribed, so I hope he got the notification, turned his notifications on, and is listening. That's the problem, Mark. Okay, this is why you're losing money, because people are not enamored with the way that you quash free speech, and young people are not joining your platform. Even here on YouTube, it's a more, if you can believe it, YouTube is more conducive to free speech than Facebook is by a long shot. All right. And look, let's just face it. YouTube is not, let's just say if the Declaration of Independence were being written today, I don't think Google would endorse the First Amendment. But Facebook certainly wouldn't. I know that for a fact. Company recruitment teams will be cut first. Don't need to recruit if you're laying off, right? Followed by restructuring and layoffs in its technology groups in late April. Mr. Zuckerberg said business teams will face layoffs in May, he added. The company will also stop hiring for about 5,000 open positions. Mr. Zuckerberg said his company must cope with a longer-term change in the economy marked by the end of low interest rates. And it's not just low interest rates that's doing it to you, Mark. Is because you don't allow people freedom on your platform and you do things like this. I made a post about Robotech. Okay, Robotech was a cartoon from an animated series rather from the 80s about. It was written by a Japanese author, and it was all about these robots having a war, earthly robots that were controlled by humans, having a war with aliens. Okay. I made a post about that and said something like, hey, you can catch RoboCop, another good series, Robotech episodes on such and such platform. Now, I did this literally maybe 18 months ago. I recently got a message saying from Facebook saying this violates our something about their terms of service, and if I posted it again, I would be in danger of being restricted. And I'm like, oh, okay, all right. So listen, Zuck, this is why your platform sucks. Mr. Zuckerberg said his company, again, must cope with the change in the economy, but we know that's what you should be coping with is sitting down, looking in the mirror, and deciding how to open up the platform to let people speak freely. Zuckerberg went on to say, at this point, I think we should prepare ourselves for the possibility that this new economic reality will continue for many years. Given this outlook, we'll need to operate more efficiently than our previous headcount reduction to ensure success. Okay, yeah, sure. He also wants people to follow him into the metaverse. He's creating that, where it's like a little virtual reality world that you could go into and, I guess exist if you are so inclined. Meta said in a securities filing Tuesday that it expects to lower its annual expenses by roughly $3 billion from an estimated range it gave on February 1st. It now expects to spend a total of $86 billion to $92 billion this year, including the cost of its layoffs and restructuring. And if you're wondering why layoffs cost, well, one of the reasons is because they got to give people severance pay. These big companies are going to cut you a check, going to extend your benefits for a period of time. So the real savings will come. They'll start to really show maybe about 6 months down the road, depending on the terms of the separation. Now, this latest announcement comes after Meta's layoff of about 11,000 employees, or roughly 13% of its workforce last fall, in the first broad headcount reductions in the company's history. Is this company on its way to becoming MySpace? I wouldn't be disappointed to see that. These tech companies, they when they get big, they start to display a certain type of attitude and characteristic, very overlordish, okay? And boy, does Mark Zuckerberg look the part. The new round of cuts is likely to add up to roughly the same magnitude as those layoffs, the Wall Street Journal reported last week. And no, I'm not a fan of the company. I definitely wouldn't invest in them because I honestly do think that the Facebook phenomenon has come to an end. Mark Zuckerberg believes that too. That's why he's fighting hard to diversify this company into other areas. The new rounds of layoffs are likely to hit non-engineering roles especially hard. And among projects that will be cut are some wearable devices. That's an area he's trying to get into to diversify. That's not good for him. That's his Reality Labs kind of subsidiary he's got going on. It's the hardware and metaverse division. They're all rolled up into that. So I think he's finally coming to terms with the fact that his idea for the metaverse is probably way ahead of its time for now. The technology needs to catch up, which probably means that he's not going to be the one to do it. Okay, I think that we should use ion drives to travel to Alpha Centauri. But technology isn't here just yet, so some young enterprising person is going to develop that, and I'll be forgotten about. That's just how it works. That's how it's going to work with Facebook and this virtual reality world that companies are trying to create. While saying that the layoffs were difficult, Mr. Zuckerberg in his email on Tuesday also described what he said were advantages of a leaner organization, expanding on a new view of management for the current economy that he has been laying out in recent months. Now, all of these tech companies and other companies as well went out and they hired these positions, diversity and inclusion, all types of HR types of positions that really didn't feed into the bottom line of the company. Now all that's being reversed. This is why if you're going to go out there and get a job, make sure it's a job that's actually integral to the profit margin of the company. Now, if you're giving seminars on microaggressions, okay, I'm not so sure you should get comfortable, okay? So he went on to say that many managers will become individual contributors. All right, so what this means is they're going to be demoted, maybe not advanced in pay as rapidly. They're going to go from managing a team to just being, a lone ranger in terms of their contributions. Okay, individual contributors. They always try to jazz it up with these corporate language, with the corporate speak. He also said that managers might now have up to 10 direct reports rather than just a handful, because the company now doesn't expect to increase its headcount as quickly as in the past. So, look, everybody's going to be doing 1.5 jobs, basically. If you want to keep your job, that's just the way it's going to be. They want to be more efficient. That means getting rid of folk. And, he hasn't talked about the actual workload decreasing, right? So that's going to stick around, and it's just going to be divided among fewer people. And look, let's just be honest about it, okay? Meta is not SpaceX, okay? It's not out there doing something of any great magnitude. Let's be honest. When the aliens excavate Earth 1,000,000 years from now, will they be more interested in the artifact that is one of Elon Musk's vertical landing rockets, or will they be more interested in, what someone wrote on Facebook yesterday? Okay. Yeah, right. So I say that to say the public is fickle with these types of things. MySpace proved that, right? And as soon as someone comes out with a better mousetrap, which you've got a lot of death by 1,000 cut stuff out there right now with other social media platforms that are more open and free, then you're going to see a continual erosion of Facebook. I don't have much faith in the company, but that's what they've got going on right now. All right, now, if you want to find out what the absolute most valuable financial asset is, watch this report. We talk about it in great detail, and we also go into depth on the concept of, if you don't possess it, do you really own it? Check out the report, guys. I'll talk to you soon.